and welcome to the show. My name is Pule Mulebati. As you can see, we are not in studio today. We are out in the Midlands, KwaZulu-Natal, to celebrate the 100th birthday of Utata Nelson Mandela. And if you're wondering why this place of all the places, this area is of profound consequence, because in 1962, on the 5th of August, armed apartheid police flagged down a car in which Nelson Mandela was pretending to be a chauffeur. And it was in this dramatic way that he was captured and arrested. We as Bophelong, together with the SABC Foundation, took it upon ourselves to spend Mandela Day giving back to the local community in and around this significant heritage site in the Midlands, Meander. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to KwaZulu-Natal, where we'll be reflecting on Utata's life and times, as well as promote his legacy. And since Be the Legacy is the official hashtag for 2018, we would like to remind you of Utata's words. It is in your hands to make of the world a better place. So let's go make a difference.
The day's festivities started at Imbali Township in Pietermaritzburg at Manai Hall, where in 1961 Nelson Mandela made his last speech as a free man during the All in Africa Conference. Hundreds gathered here before starting with the Mandela Day activations. And amongst those gathered were the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Willis Mchunu, Minister of Communications, Nomvula Mokonyane, and Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs MEC Nomusa Dube Ncube. Some members of the SABC board as well as the SABC Foundation were also ready to visit the local community and do their 67 minutes.
This is a very important day for us because it says in 1961, in this particular hall, where Madiba last addressed people, you can see how this area looks like. It's still an area that is very depressed. A lot of young people are unemployed. And the good thing, though, is that we are developing the site, and we are also going to be repainting many of the buildings around here. It's going to show this hall, which is now a heritage hall, but next to it we're going to have a skill center as well as an enterprise center for young people, where young people can come and learn about our history, learn some skills. There's an FET college just across the road. There's a high school right here, and it's going to be a hub of history. It's going to be a hub of enrichment, where young people can come here that are unemployed. They can be mentored here. We are also saying each and every person has got a Madiba inside him. We're saying light up the Madiba into you. Hug somebody, laugh at somebody, smile at somebody, motivate somebody, share somebody how you got the job that you have, share with somebody the journey that I'm what I am today. I'm the MEC, but I didn't start here. I started in the township, walking 40 kilometers to school, and I was the same as a lot of young people here, but today I have a future because of education. I invested in my education, but this is what we are trying to do today on the 67 minutes.
She explained the day's plan of action.
We're going to be going to the children's home where we are going to be painting there. We are also going to be delivering the furniture for crutches. We are also going to be giving to the needy children. We are from there. We're also going to be going to another old age home as well as the children's home, and we will also be going to the capture site, because this is what we call our struggle site and our struggle icon heroes, as well as the sites that we are visiting.
International jazz artist Kirk Whalum was amongst those geared up and ready to celebrate Nelson Mandela.
I am here in South Africa to celebrate personally the birth, the life, and the work of Madiba. I also was able to perform yesterday for the Mandela Lecture Series, and I was fortunate to meet President Obama, and to be in the same space with Gracia Machel, and to sort of bathe and soak in all this amazing love and energy that Mandela has inspired. For me to be able to actually look at and touch the future. You know, when I see young South Africans, I want to like grab every one of them and say, you know, it was for you. All that happened, it was for you. It was for you to be able to do whatever your heart tells you to do. It was for you, you know, so that you could be your true self and hold your head up high and be proud to be South African. And not only that, to be someone who contributes to world culture.
It was then time to go get some work done, and the first stop was at Ekujabuleni Child and Youth Care Center, situated about 10 kilometers from the city of Pietermaritzburg. It provides residential care for children who have been abandoned and abused. Mama Margaret Kali is the founder of the home.
Yaqala ngo-1982 iqalwa befundisi bala eMaritzburg abamhlophe nabamnyama benzela ukusiza izingane ezintulayo ukuba nazo zithola ikhaya lazohlala khona kamnandi, zithola imfudumalo, uthando, zithola ukuthi zifundiswe, zithola nourishment, zithole nezempilo, ngoba kubaleka ukuthi ingane ithola uthando kuze ikhule kahle physically, emotionally, iphile be umuntu ozoba usizo emphakathini. Sibafundisa nokufundisa esikolweni ukuthi mabe phuma la emphakathini bakwazi nabo ukufitha kahle.
She has become mother to all 43 children living here.
Inaso isineko kokuqala nje I'm a retired nurse and ngafunda special education pediatrics ne mother and care certificate. So ke nginalo uthando lwezingane nje kakhulu kabi. Nasekhaya ngiyabathanda abazukulu.
Before all the painting and gardening, the children received gifts from the SABC Foundation and other organizations.
Usuku olukhulu kabi uMandela manje kakhulukazi namhlanje la ethi uyaphila ngabe 100 years ngoba uMandela wasikhulela eMaketangeni engcindezelo. Laba abancane kabakwazi thina siyakwazi. Uma kukhulunywa ngencindezelo thina siyazi ukuthi kukhulunywa ngani. Wasisiza kuMandela, wasikhipha lapho, wasinika inkululeko. Siyamkhumbula, we miss him. Kodwa ke ngathi legacy yakhe, ilegacy ngasihlala imile. Hey, kuthi angidize. Uyazi nje namhlanje usuku olumangalisayo ekujabuleni ukuthi kanti umphakathi usithanda ngalendlela ukuthi wonke uphonsa izandla. Ngoba kuqala yayingekho intandane ulona lo wayefika sizingane yabona mina ngikhula nje ekhaya kwakhona abantu ababehlala nje esasicabanga ukuthi ihlobo kanti abantu nje bazosizwa. Manje siyajabula uma umphakathi wenze nje ukuzosiza ukuthi lezi ngane kusasa zikhule zibe negama.
I believe in Nelson Mandela's vision. I believe in a vision shared by Gandhi and King and Abraham Lincoln. I believe in a vision of equality and justice and freedom and multiracial democracy.
He was cognizant of the fact that he was a flawed human being and said in many occasions that he was not a saint.
Madiba did not sell out. Underline, Madiba did not sell out.
Madiba's popularity, well, you couldn't even measure it. He could have been president for life. Who was going to run against him?
We've We've now passed the National Youth Policy, which guides all departments, because when you talk about youth development, you're not just talking about what the NYDA must do. It's what every other department must do. Sports and recreation, social development, the police, and everybody else.
We need a solution. We need, if need be, let the president address us once a month and tell us what is he doing about youth unemployment.
Political consciousness that those young brave leaders had. You would remember very well that it was rife politically.
It's not actually operating in compliance with our rules and regulations. We really take stern action.
We all have a responsibility as South Africans to play our part in strengthening our democracy and building an ever better and prosperous South Africa.
Join your host, JJ Tabani, on Frankly Speaking every Sunday at 8:30.
SABC News celebrates Women's Month.
You fired! Unfair dismissal. Car accident. Court appearance. Let Trantel Legal tackle your legal problems. Whether it is a car accident, unfair dismissal, uncontested divorce, unfair blacklisting, or a wrongful arrest, we have tough professional lawyers standing by to assist you.
With the help of Trantel Legal, I kept my job and I can support my family.
I definitely got value for money. It didn't cost me a cent, just my monthly premium.
There was one man with his lawyer against a big bank and I won.
Car accident. Faulty goods or bad service? You fired! Unfair dismissal. No matter how big or small your legal problems, don't tackle them by yourself. Trantel Legal will do the tough work for you. SMS right to 32281 and we'll call you back.
Kazimula Child and Youth Center was our second stop. This home is situated near the Nelson Mandela capture site, and currently 20 children are being cared for between the ages of 6 and 18 years old.
The home in 2007. Kwakukade kunenkinga ye-street children eHowick, and then kwafunakala indawo yokugcina those street children ezaseHowick. Manje kwaba le ndawo le kwakuyisikole esavalwa ngo-1994 savalwa isikole sasila ngenxa yokuthi kwancipha inani labantwana. So savalwa ke manje le ndawo yasala iphansi kwenhlangano ekuthiwa yi-Midlands Educational Trust. Kwathi ke mase kudingakala indawo yokugcina lezo ngane ezazihluphekile eHowick. Kwatholakala bazingeza zizohlala la. Lapha kuthathwa ingane ezihluphekile ngokufelwa ngabazali, ingane ezilahliweyo ngabazali, nezihlukumezekileyo ngendlela ezahlukene, nengane ezinenkinga yokuziphatha ekubonakala ukuthi ke azikwazi ukuhlalisana nomndeni. So social worker ke bazo abasebenza emphakathini bazicelele indawo la sizogcina ke la eKazimula.
Some of the children's bedrooms needed some painting, so the teams got down to do that.
Silishuzele likhaya ngoba liseceleni futhi ikhaya elibonakala lisenenkinga eningi, so thatha sisondele kulona njengoba ulibona lisemahlathini lisendaweni ecashile, ziningi inkinga ezisekhona la, sithe asisondele ukuze sikwazi ukuthi sibalekelele.
Size lana ke eKazimula ukuzothi kubantwana laba bala sizobasiza, sibheke ukuthi izindlu abalele kuzo zi-clean yini, sibheke ukuthi bayinazo yini izinto zokudlala, njengoba sikhiphe amabhola, sakhipha yonke, siyazi ukuthi ubaba uMandela isport wathi nje iyona nto ebalekile kwazi ukuhlanganisa imiphakathi. Nabo ke labantwana mabehleli la ngaphakathi sithi abasithole leso skill ukuze abanye babo bayokwazi ukuthi bayiphilise ngazo. Kodwa okukhulu kakhulu nje sizothi siyabonga kuba Mandela nokufaka leli vangeli kubantwana ukuthi bakhule ngendlela okuyiyona yona.
Usuku olubaluleke kakhulu lo lokuzalwa kwa baba uMandela. Olusifundisa ke izinto eziningi ngoba ubaba Mandela ebelwela amalungelo ethu abantu abamnyama ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi sigcine sikhululekile, siphinde sikwazi ukuhlangana futhi nabanye bezinye inhlanga sibe ndawonye. So lubaluleke kakhulu welusitshela ukuthi kufanele lo 67 minutes usebenzisa ukwenza noma yimuphi umsebenzi ozosiza umphakathi.
Sibonga kakhulu kwaba SABC Foundation ngento basenzele yona kuba basi le ndawo ibonakale yaziwe eSouth Africa yonkana. Ze basipheke nezipho abakamasipala bebefikile nabo siyababonga kakhulu.
We visited Nzwandile, who is an ex-Kazimula resident but now works as a waiter at Falls Lounge.
Ngaya 2012, if I'm not mistaken, ngisuka e-children's home eWilliam Clark eThekwini. Ngoba mina ngashonelwa umzali wami uma wami ngisamncane. So bese ngakhona eKazimula ke. Ngihlale ngisahlala 4 years. Ngaphuma last year.
Bekunjani usahlala khona?
Ayi bekumnandi bebengiphethe kahle nami ngibaphethe kahle up until kwazokushaya isikhathi sami ukuthi ngihambe khona. Sengisebenze uweta lana eFalls Lounge. Umsebenzi wami ngaqala ubudlelwano bami nomama la ngaphakathi. Uyena wangisiza ukuthi ngithole umsebenzi.
Ubani othola kanjani umsebenzi?
Khona umuntu mama engangisebenza kuyena ngisebenza sasabe siKazimula siye lapha eBowling Club. Bese umuntu mama ngibuza ukuthi what is my career, bese then ngamtshela ukuthi ngifuna ukuthi ngibe uchef nento kanjalo. Kanti inhlanhla leyo khona umuntu amazi umama lo ngaphakathi angihlanganisa naye. Amaphupho ami ukuthi ngibe professional chef, ngibe nenkampani yami, ngibe nabasebenzi bami nami.
Oh my goodness, that's a big one.
We celebrate Kazimula for grooming such a confident young man.
Need to know more about the markets? This is where it all starts, at the SABC's headquarters in Auckland Park in Johannesburg, South Africa. Our team work tirelessly to make sure you are on top of the markets. We analyze, report, crunch the numbers, call in the experts, package the news, and bring you critical global market updates from the JSE.
We'll unpack exactly what's shaping markets.
They are in tune, and they are your team making sense of the markets every day on SABC News.
News at 9. We go beyond the headlines of the day and breaking news to bring you all the angles and in-depth analysis of stories that impact your life. We are on the ball with all economic stories. Our bureaus around the globe are ready to connect you to events as and when they happen. So join us every day at 9 to zoom in on the day's big stories.
Young people make up the majority of the people in this country. So why is it that the job market is filled with old people?
We also need someone who can help us with everything. Job opportunities are things that could do.
High levels of violent behavior in our schools, learners physically attacking other learners, learners physically attacking teachers, and teachers attacking learners.
The laws that are governing health today will all have to be amended and be changed. Nothing is going to stay the way it is now.
Is he facing conspiracy? What is the nature of the corruption charges that he faces? But if it's a blatant kind of corruption case, he faces a potential 15 years in prison. And lest we forget, his father is in the dock in a few weeks' time, also facing corruption charges. So those parallels between father and son and the regime change in South Africa and what's happening with our courts at the moment will be something that is profoundly interesting, I think, to all South Africans.
We ended the day at the Nelson Mandela capture site, and the long walk was a time to reflect for some.
As you go through the different slides that are presented today, you see the origin, the place of birth of President Nelson Mandela, all the other years that he has gone through, including the first year he went to school, the time when he moved to Johannesburg, the time when Madiba again came to KwaZulu-Natal, but of importance again, Madiba being involved in the establishment of Umkhonto weSizwe, and Madiba being captured, going through the trial, and then Madiba being given an offer for release unless he condemns, on condition that he condemns violence, and Madiba resists, and then the student uprisings, the state of emergency, Madiba still resisting any temptation of a negotiated release, up until the release of President Nelson Mandela, with de Klerk being the president of South Africa, the negotiations, CODESA, and then the inauguration of President Nelson Mandela, his retirement after the first term, and then the long walk up to where Madiba was captured. Indeed, it was a long walk to freedom. It symbolizes the journey that we are as yet to continue traveling before we reach our destination. But what is of importance, he left a legacy that we must all emulate, of really contributing towards building our nation and promoting social cohesion.
Walking through the exhibition inside, and then you get out and there is this long walk, but it's interspersed with boards that tell you epochs in either Mandela's life or in the struggle, and those things bring back memories of where we were and where we are. So it evokes emotions in someone like me when I read those things. Some of them I didn't live them, some of them I lived them. So the walk helps you to understand this sculpture that is in front of us here, that represents where his chain of slavery was even shortened further, because as a black person, wherever you were at the time, you were always in a chain. The difference was how long the chain was. This represents the point at which Nelson's chain was shortened for good.
The sculpture comprises 50 steel columns that are between 6 and 9.5 meters in height and cover a width of almost 30 meters. The columns line up so that at a specific angle they create what seems to be a two-dimensional image of the late Nelson Mandela. The effect is so dramatic that it can also be seen 30 meters away.
It's a design that resembles Madiba's face, with different steels that have been shaped to create the face of Madiba. That symbolizes the complication and the unknown understanding of the person Nelson Mandela. From humble beginnings of Umvezo to being this world icon, these steels, we are told, were put together as a resemblance of resistance, somebody who has stood all trials and tribulations, but of importance, somebody who finally shaped the future of this country through him actually leading the South African nation to a new dispensation that must now take us to the next step of economic emancipation.
The whole idea around Tata Mandela, it's the character of the person that he was, and the need for people in leadership and virtually everybody else to emulate those good things within him. Now, we as the SABC, our responsibility to the nation is to educate and inform. So if people are going to be expected to leave the legacy of Nelson Mandela, they need to know what that legacy is. And this is where we come in as the SABC, to explain to people what Nelson Mandela did, who he was, why he did what he did. And that's the essence of our work.
The SABC Foundation explained why this time it chose KwaZulu-Natal for Mandela Day activations.
We chose the capture site this year because we're celebrating Mandeva's centenary. I mean, he was captured here. Our history, my history began here. You know, for me, this is where it started. And to be able to talk to you standing here at this capture site today is in itself such a moving moment. So there was no other place we were going to do this except at the capture site this year.
Through all our programming on television, our 4 channels, 20 radio stations, as we speak about this man and what he did and who he was, that people grasp that it is not about doing something one day, it's about living that legacy every day, being there for other people with less than what you have.
The Foundation's currency is its airtime. We are able to provide airtime to other organizations, to NGOs, to Nelson Mandela Foundation in this instant, and government institutions as well. And so it's about partnership, because we can do what we can. We donated quite a lot of stuff today to various homes in the area, but with government's help and Department of Communications coming on board, we could do so much more.
Well, there you have it, folks. That brings us to the end of the show. Go out there and make a difference. Make every day a Mandela Day. Everybody, let's go! Hashtag Be the Legacy!
Yeah.